Can't do this. I have to sit down again.
She was put in front of a judge and given a guardian. That was when they took her away from us.
I have no money, and I'm gonna tell you something. If it happens to me.
Katt Williams may have to be awarded the prize for the best and most accurate whistleblower of all time, because this man keeps hitting the nail on the head. This time, it's about Wendy Williams. You wouldn't believe that what is currently happening to Wendy Williams is something that Katt Williams has warned us about. So, what is happening to Wendy Williams? And what warning did Katt Williams give before this happened? Let's dive right into it.
But the difficulty is getting people to believe something that they don't want to believe. And in each of these cases, this is where the money is.
Word on the street is that Wendy Williams is currently going through one of the scariest times of her life. But the former talk show host is still having it more terrible due to the people surrounding her. There have been rumors about Wendy being held hostage financially. And shockingly, this is being done by people who put her under the guise of financial guardianship. If you didn't catch the drift, let's simplify it. Wendy is being locked out of her own bank account. It's unbelievable because this woman legitimately worked so hard for her money. So how can her financial institution claim she can't have access to it anymore? Well, it's no news that Wendy has been going through a series of medical issues for a while now, but not up to the point where she can't manage her finances as her bank had claimed. The full gist is that Wendy was locked out of her Wells Fargo bank account after the bank labeled her an incapacitated person who needs guardianship due to her financial advisor's claim of the former talk show host not being in her sound mind. Wendy may genuinely not be in the best condition to handle all of her affairs, but locking her out of her accounts is uncalled for, as fans claimed. The bank's reason for taking up such action has been perceived as a typical tactic to convince the public that Wendy is mentally incompetent and desperately needs a guardian. The public can't help but remember Katt Williams' warning about how celebrities are medically wiped out once they step out of line. So here comes the question of whether Wendy Williams has stepped out of line or not, while her talk show career was ongoing. Well, we can all guess the answer that Wendy definitely stepped out of line. Not just once, but almost every time she spoke on her show. Wendy built her talk show career by riding on other people's horses, most especially celebrities' misfortunes. Interestingly, Wendy wasn't the type to be scared of anyone, regardless of their power. Wendy also talked about powerful and influential people in the most condescending ways. Wendy was always one of the media-related figures who mostly got hot gossip firsthand and always used it to her advantage. One time, Wendy laid her hands on what seemed to be Diddy's alleged most dreadful secret, his sexuality. Wendy didn't hesitate to call Diddy out for it and expose his alleged confidential sexuality to the public. Anyway, Wendy faced the consequences of her actions in the most extreme way. Wendy was banned from all New York radio stations. Y'all can guess that was the courtesy of the Bad Boy Records CEO. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, confirmed it during an interview with The Art of Dialogue. Gene revealed that he witnessed how Diddy made phone calls, leaving directives for radio executives that Wendy must not even be an inch close to their microphones ever again if they still wanted to have business deals with him.
She put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down, and it looked like some gay act that was going on. He got on the phone. He said, "Let me tell you this."
But back when Wendy was in her prime career years, she really didn't care about what anyone would do to her if she exposed or embarrassed them on her talk show. No one could stop Wendy's shine. So Diddy cutting her off from radio shows and blacklisting her didn't mean much to her. Other industry big names that Wendy constantly dragged through the mud were Jay-Z and Beyoncé. It was like they had crossed paths negatively in their previous lives. If Wendy wasn't throwing shade at Jay-Z that he didn't deserve Queen Bee, she would be making fun of his fashion sense.
I don't even think that they sleep in the same suite or in the same hotel. I bet you there's such separation that she sleeps down the street at one hotel.
Wendy's targets weren't only celebrities, as everyone knew. Even the prestigious former president of the United States took a jab from Wendy. Wendy didn't cut back or act like Obama was an important figure, as she called out the former president during one of the episodes of her show. Wendy claimed that the former president was flirting with another woman during an event.
People are saying that that Obama was actually flirting with this prime minister. Well, here's the other picture. Look.
It may have seemed like a joke that went a little bit far, but Wendy didn't care as long as she was cashing out her millions and making her audience have a good time on the show. But all of these extreme jokes and secret unraveling stories came to an end after Wendy was diagnosed with Graves' disease in 2018. Graves' disease is an autoimmune disorder that can cause hyperthyroidism, or overactive thyroid. Wendy revealed her condition to her audience the same year. She had always been open about her struggle with various medical issues over the years, which included her battle with alcoholism and substance abuse. After Wendy announced her condition, she still struggled to find the strength to keep up with her talk show. But she couldn't. The talk show staggered for a while, using different hosts to cover up Wendy's absence. But it didn't last long. The Wendy Williams talk show eventually ended in 2022, 14 years after its first episode aired. What Wendy had put her heart and soul into had crumbled within the twinkle of an eye, and so was her life. Wendy's lifestyle, which used to be all bubbly, came crashing down very quickly. At first, Wendy completely disappeared from the media scene, while sources claimed she was receiving treatment and resting. But was she? It seemed Wendy was actually getting scammed behind the scenes due to her depleting health condition. After Wells Fargo had declared the former talk show host an incapacitated individual who needed a guardian and filed a petition to support the claim, Wendy fired back, claiming it was a lie. An audio tape containing Wendy's side of the story featured her talking about how the people she is surrounded with want to steal from her and leave her high and dry.
When I began asking questions about my money, suddenly Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair.
However, Wendy's voice recording didn't provide her with the justice she was seeking. The court ruled in favor of the Wells Fargo petition, indicating that Wendy should be under guardianship. But we all know Wendy is a fighter, and it wouldn't change even if her health wasn't in the best condition. In February 2024, Wendy and some of her loyal team members released a documentary titled Where is Wendy Williams? The documentary gave fans an insight into what Wendy had been going through for a few years and what is currently happening in her life. But this is when the players of the rigged game Katt Williams was talking about brought out their big guns to play. Days after Wendy's new documentary was released, news broke that the former talk show host had been newly diagnosed with aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. Frontotemporal dementia is a group of disorders characterized by the loss of nerve cells in the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain, which cause the lines to shrink, while aphasia is a language disorder that affects an individual's ability to communicate. This particular diagnosis is where fans draw the line and finally come to terms with the fact that it seems there are some powerful people behind Wendy's situation. The piece of the puzzle being put together is that some people are trying to prove to the world that Wendy is out of her mind and isn't functioning properly anymore, just to shut her out and dismiss all the claims she had made about them in the past. However, this assumption may be true, because Wendy won't be the first celebrity to be hushed through medical ways. Celebrities like Britney Spears, Kanye, and even Dave Chappelle have been through the same process, but they got wind of the shady stuff before these so-called industry planners could completely engulf them. Britney Spears suffered the biggest blow of being set up as a medically vulnerable woman. Britney had been positioned to take the hit of being unstable and even unfit to function as a regular human. But the singer didn't go down without a fight. Britney claimed they had intentionally misdiagnosed her just to fill her system with unnecessary drugs to control her and put her under a certain type of leash. All of these heinous acts were to take her money, just like they are allegedly doing to Wendy Williams right now.
And I would honestly like to sue my family, to be totally honest with you. I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me instead of it.
Kanye is another victim of the misdiagnosis saga. Everyone knows Kanye doesn't take things lightly if it slightly offends him or seems wrong. So when the doctors had prescribed a high dose of lithium for Kanye in the hospital, he knew something fishy was going on. Just as you thought, Kanye didn't sit back and watch them fool him, because he didn't study medicine. Kanye said he wasn't going to use that much lithium, and he didn't. He preferred to deal with whatever was going on with him rather than chugging so many pills, which would have a terrible side effect on his health. Kanye once revealed that they were trying to take him out, just like they did to Michael Jackson.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed.
Well, we still aren't over the conspiracy theory of Michael Jackson's death. There have been so many conspiracy theories about the King of Pop's death, but the one that stands out the most is that MJ was intentionally killed with the ingestion of so many drugs that his body didn't even need. Michael Jackson's doctor at the time was even arrested after his death. But that's not all. Dr. Conrad Murray was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment, but only served 2 years. And his medical licenses in California, Texas, and Nevada were suspended after his conviction. But this was because Michael Jackson was a world-class famous artist, and it is not feasible for anyone to go to these lengths for the likes of Wendy Williams or Britney Spears if anything terrible happened to them. So, will we be taking Katt Williams' warnings more seriously from now on? It seems Katt isn't joking around when he says he knows some unspeakable things that go down behind the glamorous scenes of the entertainment industry.
Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be.
Katt has consistently tried to alert the public about how some celebrities held in high esteem are different when the cameras are turned off. Fans are curious about what happens behind the scenes, but until someone comes up with undeniable evidence, we may end up in the dark for a while. So do you think Wendy Williams will be able to get past this difficult moment of her life? Or do you feel the former talk show host is currently getting her karma for her actions in the past? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any celebrity news updates.